The Taliban's Ministry of Defense has announced that it has repaired over 40 U.S. made military vehicles and armored equipment. These include Humvees, tanks, Ranger vehicles, international cranes, tankers, bucket trucks, and other vehicles previously used by American agencies. According to the ministry, these vehicles have been restored over the past year, despite many of them having been out of use for more than 10 years. Mullah Mohammed Isa Yassin stated that these repaired vehicles would be handed over to the departments affiliated with the Taliban Ministry of Defense. The ministry also declared that it had repaired 270 American and Russian-made weapons at the Central Corps 313 repair workshop. These weapons include both light and heavy arms such as the M49, M40, DSK, and Zovich. Following the peace agreement with the United States, the Taliban, who previously captured Afghan villages and cities on old motorcycles and Kalashnikovs, are now confronting their enemies using American-made military aircraft and helicopters. According to a report from the U.S. Department of Defense, between 2005 and August 2021, the United States spent $18.6 billion equipping the Afghan National Army. However, after the withdrawal of foreign forces and the collapse of the previous Afghan government, military equipment worth $27.12 billion was left behind in Afghanistan, which the Taliban seized. In a report submitted to the U.S. Senate in April, the Pentagon revealed that the remaining equipment now in the hands of the Taliban includes aircraft, helicopters, air and ground military equipment, armored vehicles, tanks, communication devices, and both light and heavy weaponry. Taliban aircraft and helicopters. Before the Taliban returned to power, the Afghan government had 226 military aircraft and helicopters. Some were inactive, and others had been sent abroad for maintenance. On August 15, 2021, after news broke of Ashraf Ghani's escape, several pilots transferred 61 of these aircraft and helicopters to Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. According to the U.S. Department of Defense, the Taliban at that time captured 13 aircraft, 44 helicopters, and 7 Scan Eagle reconnaissance drones, all in operational condition. Additionally, they took control of 73 non-operational aircraft and helicopters, including 28 aircraft and 45 helicopters. According to the military analysis organization Oryx, which specializes in conflicts in Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan, the Taliban now possesses 13 operational aircraft, including 1 A-29B attack aircraft, 1 Cessna, 208 utility aircraft, 3 L-39 training aircraft, 8 transport aircraft. Additionally, the Taliban reportedly has 45 active helicopters used daily, including 7 UH-60A Black Hawk helicopters, 12 Mi-8 and Mi-17 transport helicopters, 15 Mi-24 and Mi-35 attack helicopters. In June, the National Resistance Front of Afghanistan shot down 1 Mi-17 helicopter and captured 2 pilots, 2 co-pilots, and a Taliban commander. The U.S. Department of Defense estimates the total value of the aircraft and helicopters in Taliban hands at $93.3 million. This figure includes the value of 73 aircraft and helicopters destroyed by foreign forces at Kabul International Airport during the government's fall. Over the past year, the Taliban has attempted to repair some of the damaged aircraft and helicopters. According to the group, 3 aircraft, C-130, A-32, and C-28 have been successfully restored and made operational. In May, Taliban Ministry of Defense spokesperson Inayatullah Qazi claimed that these aircraft and helicopters were repaired by Taliban engineers using available resources. However, there is no confirmed evidence of these aircraft being used in military operations or for transporting Taliban leadership. That same month, the Taliban released a video showing a Scan Eagle reconnaissance drone in flight. However, it remains unclear whether they possess the technical expertise to operate these drones effectively. Reports suggest that 7 of these drones were found intact at Kunduz Airport and are potentially usable. Ammunition and light weapons. The Pentagon report states that 9 524 air-to-ground munitions worth $6.54 million were left in Afghanistan. Additionally, 36 200 pieces of U.S. Army light weapons, including sniper rifles and grenade launchers valued at $51.8 million, also remained. In the months following the American withdrawal, the Taliban held military parades in Afghan cities, displaying the U.S. military equipment they had seized. Global stance toward the Taliban. Several U.S. Republican senators wrote to Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin stating, "It is unacceptable that advanced military equipment funded by American taxpayers has ended up in the hands of the Taliban and their terrorist allies." The report emphasized that the U.S. Department of Defense should have prioritized the safeguarding of these assets before announcing the withdrawal from Afghanistan. It also stated that nearly all communications equipment provided to Afghan forces, including fixed and mobile stations, military and commercial radios, transmitters, and encryption devices, remained in Afghanistan and are now under Taliban control. Final note: despite 3 years of Taliban rule, no country in the world has removed the group from its list of terrorist organizations. Thus, the Taliban stands as the only terrorist group in history to have inherited advanced state-level military equipment from the United States.